Are we all wasting our time on hashtags? Do they still even work on Instagram? Before diving in, let's start with the basics. What exactly is a hashtag and what is it supposed to do for us? A hashtag is a series of letters, numbers, or emojis, all preceded by the hashtag symbol, which is supposed to categorize and make your content a little bit more discoverable. Hashtags generally are a great way to expand your reach and grow your audience. When you use a specific hashtag on your post, that post will show up somewhere in the page for that hashtag. Some users even follow hashtags, which gives you an additional opportunity to get your content in front of the eyes of someone who's not following you yet. And that in general is the principle behind hashtags. It allows you to get your content in front of not only your followers, but in front of new people who might want to follow you if they happen to like your content. But here's the real question. Do hashtags still work to help you gain new followers? Here's my answer. They do, but they are not the only thing that matters when it comes to growing your audience on Instagram. And they might not be as important as you've been led to believe. Recently, Instagram posted some really important information regarding how hashtags work on their platform from the creators page on Instagram. If you don't already follow that page, I would highly recommend it because this is information coming from Instagram themselves about what strategies work to grow on their platform. First, they mentioned a few pretty obvious things that you might have heard before about hashtags, including making sure that you're using relevant hashtags on your post, that you're not using overly generic hashtags that are already being used by a lot of other people, and of course, not using hashtags that are totally irrelevant to your content. Those are pretty standard hashtag guidelines that all of us for the most part have been following along for the past few years. But they also kind of rocked the boat with an interesting novel recommendation, which is to only use 3 to 5 hashtags on your posts. And they encourage us not to use more than 10 to 20 hashtags on a post, even though you technically can have up to 30. That's how many Instagram will allow you to have. And historically, that's how many hashtags many people have tried to use in order to increase their reach as much as they possibly can. But now Instagram is telling us that that is not an effective strategy, and it's much better to use 3 to 5 high quality, super relevant hashtags on your posts. Another important thing that Instagram brought up in this announcement that I think is super essential to remember is that it's not just about which hashtags you're using, it's about the way that your followers and the first few people who see your posts in those hashtags are interacting with your content. In other words, if your content isn't interesting, if it's not high quality, if it's not valuable, and if it doesn't get engagement, then it's not going to matter if you put on all those extra hashtags because your content is not going to surface in those hashtags. Instagram is not going to show it to other people because it's not being indicated to them that it's been valuable or interesting. Instagram here is really just trying to tell us to stop thinking about hashtags as a way to hack our way to more reach, and rather as a way to add additional context to our posts and hopefully help people who are interested in the particular topic of that post to find it. Even before this announcement, I've been testing out a no hashtag strategy on the Creatorly Media page, and you might be surprised at our results. We try to post twice daily to the Creatorly Media page. None of these posts have any hashtags, and our growth has actually been pretty impressive. We started the Creatorly Media page back in late May or early June, and when I first announced it on my personal page, we got an influx of about 800 new followers in the first week or two. But after that, I really stopped talking about the Creatorly Media page much on my personal one, and we've still seen really steady and consistent growth. We just recently passed 2,400 followers there. So that means in just about 5 months, we have organically gained over 1,300 followers, and our posts are averaging about 300 to 1,000 impressions each. I think that this experiment paired with Instagram's latest announcement really proves that hashtags are not the be-all end-all to growth. They can be helpful, sure, like Instagram said, for categorizing your post, potentially being seen by new followers, but the biggest factor that is going to impact whether or not you're growing is if your content is valuable, interesting, and engaging. That's what Instagram is really considering in their algorithm as to whether they show it to more people. So instead of focusing so much on trying to come up with 30 hashtags per post, just take the time that you were spending on that and focus on making better content. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Creatorly Media YouTube channel, because we're going to be sharing helpful videos like this every single week and I wouldn't want you to miss them. So thanks so much for watching, and remember to keep on creating.